Arsenal versus PSG. Domestic dominance versus continental dominance. The immovable object against the unstoppable force. This is the Champions League final, and in this video, we're breaking down exactly why this match is the collision nobody saw coming. Look, the Premier League is the most competitive domestic league on the planet. Every single week, you're facing elite teams, elite managers, and teams with unlimited resources. The physicality, the consistency, the fixture congestion, it's brutal. And Arsenal, for 21 years, couldn't get over the line. Now compare that to PSG. PSG won France, which, look, I'm not diminishing what they did, but we need to be real here. Winning League One for PSG is almost a formality. It's the baseline expectation. They have arguably the most talented squad in world football. Every single year, their domestic league is about them, not about competition, but about how dominantly they can win it. For PSG, the real judgment day, that's always been the Champions League. That's where legacy is built. That's where they prove whether they belong in the conversation with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. And here's the thing that makes this final so intriguing. As Arsenal's journey to this final was respectable, they faced Sporting Lisbon, a good team but not elite, and then Atletico Madrid. Now, don't get me wrong, Atletico Madrid is a proper side, but Arsenal, they controlled that entire tie. Professional, almost inevitable. Okay, that's all we had to say about Arsenal's path. Let's move on to PSG. PSG's journey, that's a different beast entirely. They had to run through a gauntlet. And the final hurdle, Bayern Munich. Not just Bayern Munich, a team that had just eliminated Real Madrid, the defending champions, the kings of this competition. So Real Madrid walk away thinking they've got this, they've done the hard part, and then PSG, and I cannot stress this enough, PSG absolutely dismantled them. 5 goals. 5 in a Champions League semi-final against one of Europe's most organized, most respected defensive structures. This wasn't luck. This wasn't Bayern having an off day. This was PSG putting on a masterclass in modern attacking football. This was the most exciting match I've seen in the last 5 years. It was like a basketball game full of goals from both sides, incredibly thrilling, and Luis Enrique's team emerged victorious. Now let's examine individual performances. Arsenal has conceded the fewest goals in this tournament. PSG has scored the most. But here's where individual brilliance comes in. Arsenal has transformed into a collective, a system-based team. But they have genuine superstars, players who can unlock defenses on their own. PSG, meanwhile, is almost designed around individual genius. They have multiple players capable of a moment of magic that decides a final. One through ball, one piece of brilliance, and suddenly it's 1-0. And Arsenal has to unravel their entire structure to chase the game. Arsenal, however, is constructed to prevent being dragged out of shape. It's their greatest strength and potentially their greatest vulnerability if PSG can create a moment of chaos. So, who wins? Look, this is genuinely the hardest final to predict in years. Arsenal is the better organized team. They're more consistent. They have fewer weaknesses. On paper, they're the safer bet, but football isn't played on paper. Arsenal will press. Arsenal will control. Arsenal will do everything right structurally, but can they handle it if PSG scores first? Can they handle it if PSG creates chaos in the 20th minute? PSG has shown in this tournament that they don't need 90 minutes. They need moments. They create their moments. Our prediction, PSG to lift the trophy. Backed by Luis Enrique's attacking genius, backed by their willingness to embrace chaos and turn it into victory, Arsenal will push, Arsenal will create, but in a final where both sides know exactly what's coming, sometimes the team with more firepower, more versatility, and more experience in these moments wins out. And PSG, despite everything Arsenal has achieved, despite their historic domestic triumph, PSG are built for this moment. But here's the beauty of football. That's just our take. In 90 minutes, anything can happen. Arsenal could prove that structure, organization, and mental strength trump everything else. PSG could prove that elite talent and attacking brilliance are unstoppable. That's why we love this game. That's why this final is unmissable. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments, who do you think lifts the trophy? And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our instant reaction and full match analysis right after the final kicks off.